We built a whole bunch of tests, which was great, but they took a whole long time to run, which wasn't so great. And because they were hard to run, we didn't run them very often. And that wasn't a part of the dev process. That was a part of a QA engineer's process that we gave him. And so he would run these things that would take hours to run, and then he'd have a whole bunch of failures. And then he would have to try and sort through, was this failure because the test sucked? Or was this failure because the code didn't do what it was supposed to do? And in most cases, it was because the test was flaky. And so we invested for over a year in having a full-time person just maintaining those tests. And we never got to a point where we could rely on them all the time. We just have to run it multiple times, and then we're waiting, more than a few hours. We're waiting days sometimes to make sure all the integration tests were good. We dedicated the time, built all those tests, but then it wasn't worth running them anymore because it took too long. And we'd get so many failures on tests that it's like, oh crap, someone needs to spend their day looking at these failures to see if they're real. So QA Wolf was very appealing in the fact that they would write those front-end integration tests and they would maintain those front-end integration tests, because our developers, they're great at building features. They're not great at maintaining tests in a language that isn't their primary focus. I would probably say a good 10 to 20% of the time was spent on writing tests. It's nice knowing that we have a last line of defense. We do as much automated testing as we can on the development side as we're building things, but we can't test all the integrations without a full system. And that's where it's nice to have QA Wolf. We did used to have a manual QA team that we don't have to have anymore. So all of our manual QA engineers have either left or they have converted over to be full-time developers. So as of today, we have 0 in-house QA engineers. So you helped replace those manual resources. So I feel like anybody who has software that has multiple modules that have to integrate together or have to work with third-party APIs or anything like that, I would definitely recommend QA Wolf.